What is up, movers? Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't posted a video in like a month, but between the holidays and sickness, and I grinded a little bit on my main account. If you could see from the thumbnail, I did make it back to 2,000 again. Went up about 100 rating points in like a 2 or 3 week span. So yeah, this is one of the games that I wanted to show you from there. I played against a Fide Master, and this game was super hard. And yeah, I'm just going to show you guys it. Let's go to analysis. I'm going to turn off all this stuff so it doesn't show me how bad I played. Oh, it's still going to show this orange. Don't worry about it. These are all brilliant moves. But anyway, we of course started with b4. He responded with e5. And instead of seeing the exchange variation, he's just going to defend with d6. And what I used to do back in the day, if you remember from my videos, is I played c4. But something that I've been trying to do recently is be a little more flexible in the opening, and I want to wait to play this c-pawn until I realize where I want this bishop going. Because sometimes I decide that I just want to go ahead and castle kingside and just have a nice little safe king, and then I play to storm these pawns afterwards. Sometimes I just don't want to touch this pawn at all, pretty much, and just, yeah, pretty much that's kind of how I like playing it now. So he goes against it. Pushes e4, so I go knight to d4. We're going to get f5 played by my opponent, and I think what he's doing is he's just trying to get like nice position where he has some forward pawns. He has a pretty free rook that he can open up. I play c4 now. We get knight to f6. I play e3 to support this. Also to allow my queen to have a threat on h5 in the right moment. So he plays g6 to deny that possibility. I play d3. And we see a capture, and I take back with my bishop. So what I'm trying to shoot for here is some open files, or I could wreak havoc against his king. Whenever you play a move like f5, you're kind of telegraphing, especially when you also have g6, you're kind of telegraphing what kind of position you plan on having. On the board. So I was thinking, okay, let me just open things up a bit, get some bishops staring down on this guy, and then play chess from there. And he goes king e7. So I think for one, he either mouse slipped, which helped me out because I thought that was a weird move. Or two, what he wanted to do with this move is just he didn't see himself castling at all because of the position that I earned with these bishops. So he figured he'd just move the king out of the way instead and double his pieces that way. Thing is, he hasn't gotten enough minor pieces out just yet, so I don't know if I would have liked that decision myself. I get my queen onto the board, and what I'm trying to do for one is restrict his ability to move this bishop, because then I'm taking this. And then the second thing that I'm trying to accomplish is that he can no longer really play this knight move, because after captures, I'm going to be winning a pawn out of the exchange. So I'm just trying to free up the position a bit. I'm also trying to get some more centralization against his king. We get c6 played, so like I just mentioned, him moving his minor pieces isn't really possible at this point, so he's just going to play something like c6 instead to again prevent against my queen. But he did that move earlier with g6, and now he just kind of has a weird setup. We get knight c3 here, just continuing to develop, get some more threats on the king. Bishop comes over to g7. I move my rook over, so I am giving away which side I'm going to be castling to, but I don't think it matters too much because I'm just so ahead of tempo, aka all my minor pieces and my queen and my rook. So I have 5 pieces in position here, and I opened up the center, whereas he only has 2 pieces and a pretty crappy king. We get knight coming over to d7, finally starts getting those minor pieces out. He's probably just trying to go here and then win my bishop, which I'm fine with. I will take that trade because we're in a rather closed position here apart from this opening. This bishop isn't as useful as my dark squared one, so I'm fine with gaining his knight, but he doesn't choose to take. I play e4, trying to open things up a little more against the king. He plays f4 in response. I play h3. It's just, I think, a good move to prevent 3 of his minor pieces from getting further into the position. He plays a6. That I do not have a clue as to what he was trying to do. I mean, I guess maybe he thought I could like sack this somehow and that would be a decent position, but I'm personally not buying it. I move my bishop back. Now that I think that things are kind of starting to open up again because of the pawn moves that I was trying to do, I think that I'd rather hold on to the bishop at this point. King finally moves out of the way. I play b5. I thought this would be turned off, but it will. I play b5, and again, I'm just trying to open some things up. This is protected right now. I'm just trying to get a line for my bishop against his king. We get c5 played. Excuse me, can't read squares today. So I just moved the knight out of the way, and I'm fine with trading these off. He's not interested just yet, though. But I'll take myself and then get my bishop in position against his queen and king. So he obviously just protects it. I move my bishop out of the way. Now that this is not doing anything, I'm going to just look for a new target. King moves over. I play a4 just to secure this a little bit better. That way I'm also not holed up with this bishop anymore, having to protect this. I can move it if I want to. Maybe go against this again. We get bishop to b7, knight to d5, and my reasoning behind this move is that if he chooses to capture in either way, then I just get a passed pawn that's protected by a rook. So I was happy with that occurring. I was also seeing that if he took one of these ways, I could take with this pawn, and then when I push, I'll have another opportunity for check. And he did do that, so I'm very happy in this position. What he does is he just blockades. Pretty much he's saying that, you know, I don't really care that that exchange happened because you're never going to be able to really get this either way. I move my rook over to e1 because it wasn't doing anything over here. Rook goes over to f8, so he's trying to push here instead. So I blockade myself. With a pawn though, not with a piece. Bishop's coming here. He's likely just looking to play bishop here to h4. And I see a tactic. The tactic just being that if he takes, then I can play e5, and I'm very happy. He moves his bishop here. I just play g3. He takes with rook. After all the exchanges are said and done, we're equal in material. However, I have two connected passed pawns, so I'm very happy in this position. His king is also nice and open, so his bishop will soon come to life. So there's the first move. We get e5. Queen moves over. One more move. We get d6. He checks me. I'm protected right here, though. He gets a pawn, and now he's threatening one other mate. First, I do an in-between move. I play check. Now that I checked him, I'm able to secure this defensive move as well. Also protects my bishop. He takes here on b5. I don't really have a reason to take back, though, just to have him threatening me over there. So instead, I'm just pushing. I see checks. I see possible promotions that can occur. And he still has no move against me because I'm protecting both of them still. Bishop goes back to c6. This is actually a pretty good move because the bishop's constantly covering this diagonal, but now it's also going to be covering anything here if I try something funny. And I actually already sacrificed some pawns just to get these guys going, so it would be, you know, it actually makes sense for him to sacrifice the bishop to stop this advancement, because it's not going to be as easy for me to stop 3 connected passed pawns. So I start with check. King goes over to e8. This can't happen, and now this can't happen either. So I have a temporary stop to my plan. I go bishop over to e6. Idea here is that I could possibly block this. I can look to play, what's it called? d7 with check. And then if he takes, then he's not going to be super happy with that. But just kind of a lot of ideas in general. He gets his check. but that's all fine with me. I get the exchange. He grabs the pawn again, but now he's already in trouble because his king is completely not safe. So I'm threatening mate. He checks me, I go here. He checks me, I go there. And he's thinking that he can go ahead and take this exchange and that he'll be fine, but that is actually tactically not the case, as you'll now see. So we'll have the exchange, and I only have about a minute on my clock right now to find this tactic. What I'm actually thinking now is I could just checkmate him by doing this. So he goes here, so this checkmate idea doesn't work anymore. However, what does work is promoting into a queen. But what sucks is that I only have 47 seconds and I suck at blitz time formats, so I still have to find a mate. And I don't think I found the quickest one, but I think I found a pretty good one. So we get check. King goes over to d7, and I'm just trying to force him backwards. I check him with the bishop. Now I'm covering these squares. He can only go here or here. He chooses d8, and that's where I find my mate. So pretty long game, 50 moves, which is a long game for a 10-minute game. Normally it's just like anything between like 15 and 30, 35 moves. So 50 is pretty long. But this guy definitely pushed me to the brink. We'll go over some of the highlights briefly. I took the queen side expansion, whereas he took the king side. What I did is I just like subtly threatened going over queen here, so I forced him to make this move. I opened things up a little bit to get some attacks going here. Whether a mouse slip or on purpose, he does go king to e7. I get my queen in the game, so he's forced to make another weird move. Just keep developing. Very, very good development advantage here. I offer the exchange. He does not want to accept, so I move the piece back to hold on to it because I like it more now. I threaten b5. We just do some more shuffling. And now that I lock this position in, I shift my focus elsewhere. And now I try creating my passed pawns, which the computer doesn't like, as you could see from the different question marks and misses or whatever else you're seeing on the board, but I liked it because it gave me a clear idea to play for, and that way he's the one that's, you know, having to play defense, so he has more pressure on him than me. It's easier for me to play. Rook goes over to e1. I just blockade his threat, so now I'm the only one that really has anything to play for. We get bishop over. I take with the tactic, because then I'll have e5 available. He just goes for my rook instead. And obviously if I just move my rook out of the way, then I'm just losing a bishop for nothing. So instead, we're going to play g3. We get an exchange, which looks at first glance like it's even, but now I have the passers, so it's actually benefiting me. He goes a pawn up, but I'm protecting the different areas of mate. And now I have these scary threats. I ignore him grabbing this pawn right here, because my threat is larger. He's forced to put his king in a bad spot just to keep from a promotion. We take the exchange, and we look for mate. And he has a miscalculation here, where I have a forced mate coming. But yeah, that was all. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think at this point, this game was probably like a week or week and a half ago at this point. But this was one of my games along my road to 2000. But hope you guys enjoy. Hope you maybe learned something. And hope you guys can beat some FMs here as well. See you next time.